we did not receive a February Nintendo Direct, which means that our last Nintendo Direct was way back in September. After 9 months in development, this one was certainly worth the wait. Also, I'm aware we got a partner showcase, but like, no one cares about those. This is a proper, honest-to-God Nintendo Direct, and it's the June one. Essentially, our E3 presentation. E3 might be dead, but its ghost lives on through June Directs. You already know what a Direct is, I already know, who cares? Let's just get into the first announcement, a brand new Mario and Luigi game. Look, I can't really say much about this, which I know is shocking considering I haven't shut up about Mario and Luigi for the past 9 odd years, but I'm working on a video right now. That's a lie. I will be working on a video where I will look into the trailer that we have, so I can't really discuss the trailer here because then I'll just be repeating myself in that future video. You see, there's no real point. Just know that this was a fantastic way to open the Direct and I am super happy to see it, finally. It set the mood going forward of, hey, this might be the end of the Switch, but we're going out with a bang. Following that amazing beginning, we got information on Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, maybe. I wasn't really paying attention at this point because, you know, we sorta got a new Mario and Luigi after 9 odd years. Yeah, it's here, we already knew about it, who cares? On to the next thing. Fairy Tail 2, and when I say tail, I mean like the animal kind, not T-A-L-E. Sure. It's certainly a game. Again, by this point I was still struggling to understand the fact that it really is a Mario and Luigi. We really got one. Here we go, FANTASIAN Neo Dimension. Okay, so you know how a new Mario and Luigi was announced? Okay, thank Christ, Nintendo Switch Sports. Alright, this was something I can actually talk about, not just because I started paying attention again, but also because there's something here to talk about. Nintendo Switch Sports getting another update is so baffling to me. Just, I cannot understand it whatsoever. Super Mario Maker 2 was done updating in under a year. But that makes sense, of course, you know, but because that game wasn't that big of a financial hit. Okay then, let's look at Animal Crossing. You know, the second best-selling Nintendo Switch game. Yeah, that Animal Crossing. Do you want to know how long its updates lasted for? 1 year and a half. 1 year and a half. Now then, when did Nintendo Switch Sports release? April 29th, 2022. Why am I bringing this up? Because look at when this update releases. Summer 2024, which we're sort of already in, so that's weird. Like, you'd think if it's this summer, they'd have a more concrete release date. But anyway, do you guys understand what this means? This means that Nintendo Switch Sports was given a longer amount of time for development, for updates, than Animal Crossing. Yes, this game did well, but what the hell, guys? Come on. Look, I had my fill with Animal Crossing after the first month. I mean, I'd love to go back to it, but, you know, I'd have to buy another Switch for that, or delete my original island, so no thanks either of those. And I don't own Nintendo Switch Sports, so it's not as if this really affects me, but yeah, it's... I don't understand. Why this game? Out of all the games, why was this one the one that got this special of a treatment? Following this, we got Mio, Memories in Orbit. This one sorta interests me. I mean, hey, you know, it looks cool. Kinda has that Hollow Knight, Metroidvania type shtick to it, you know, I'm a fan of that. Do I care? No, not really. I've got plenty on my plate at the moment, but I'll keep an eye on it. You know, if it does really well when it comes to reviews, I might check it out eventually. Yeah, I'm not too fussed. Disney Illusion Island. This is certainly a game. I mean, I like the art style. You know, it looks like the TV show they've seen a couple clips of. That's pretty neat. Not for me, though. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. With how old the South Park episode that had this as a joke naming it is, I cannot say that there is a 0% chance that this naming thing wasn't intentional. In fact, I feel it was entirely intentional, specifically because then people go like, oh ha ha ha, it's a reference, and that's like free advertising. Anyway, I have nothing to say about this game other than that, so... yeah. Looney Tunes, Wacky World of Sports. I'm gonna be honest with you here, this looks better than all of the Mario sports games currently on the Switch, and that is sad. Among Us! That's right, folks. Among Us. You love Among Us. I love Among Us. It's Among Us. No one cares. See, look, Innersloth made the better choice. Well, okay, maybe not better, but they did the kinder choice of continuing to update the first Among Us instead of making a sequel. But in the long run, I feel like that is really backstabbing them. Or like in Among Us. See, I feel like an Among Us 2 would drive a lot more hype, would bring a lot more people in, but these updates just, like, I don't know. I mean, they had that crossover with all these different indie games recently enough, so like, I guess it's still doing really well for itself, but I don't know, it's just, I feel like they'd be better spent spent going and making an Among Us 2, because that would just, again, drive hype. Putting more and more stuff in the original game, it just means that people who like the original game can't properly go back to it anymore because it doesn't really exist because you put so much on top of it, and people want something new. Sure, they have something new, but it doesn't feel new. Farmagia, Farmy Warmy Man. It is a game, I can say that much. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, or some folks like to call it Donkey Kong Country Returns. I think we're either on 3 or 4, because there's like an NVIDIA port of it and the 3DS port, so that's 2 additional returns, plus the fact that it's, yeah, so I think it's actually 4 returns. Yeah, this is gross, just plain and simple, this is gross. Not only does the game look about as good as it did on the Wii, if not worse at times, it just is such a disservice to Donkey Kong fans, man, because we got Tropical Freeze right at the start of the Nintendo Switch's life, and that's great, you know, port it over from the Wii U, because people didn't really play it, that's awesome. Can you make a new one? No. What do you mean no? Well, we're gonna not do anything for 7 years. Right. I believe the developers are Retro, and they are the guys who are working on Metroid Prime 4, which we'll get to. So that sort of makes sense, but I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. You know, and again, I feel really bad for Donkey Kong Country fans, because not only are they finally getting something, but it's just a port of a game that's already been ported, but it's not even a good port. It doesn't even look like they've added any new content, which is just so depressing. Thankfully, that is the only disappointing port of a Mario-related game on the Switch that was talked about in this direct. Definitely. Let's talk Dragon's Quest 3 HD 2D Remake. People are getting really sick of HD 2D remakes, and I don't fully blame them because there has been quite a lot of them, but like, they just look cool, okay? You know, I really like the way they look, and maybe it's because I haven't actually played any of them yet, because the gameplay always looks terrible. But yeah, no, they don't look that bad, but I'm gonna trust the people who've actually played these things and say that, yeah, it is getting a bit much, the sheer amount of them. I know, this one looks different. There's just something about the way that it's done that just makes it look slightly different to the other HD 2D games that I've seen, so good that it does that. I don't really care. Maybe I'll play it. I mean, I've heard Dragon Quest is good, but like, look man, if the RPG can't have Luigi in it at some point, I can't be bothered, you know? Funko Fusion. Oh my Christ. Look, we all know Funko Pops suck, alright? They are ugly. The people who collect them have something wrong with them, like very, very wrong with them. And just look at this game. Look at this game. Zero effort was put into putting this onto the Nintendo Switch. From the way everything just looks so blurry and the models look so crappy, to the fact that none of the textures look good, the lighting is horrible, just everything about this game screams rushed, lazy piece of garbage. And that's sad because this is Funko, a giant company who is crossing over with all these other big giant IPs. Like, come on, for the love of God, can you not, like, try? Is it that hard to try? This is just disappointing. Speaking of disappointing, the Luigi's Mansion 2 remake, I had hope when this was first shown off that maybe, just maybe, it looked so bad because it was so far away from release. That, you know, this was being worked on by Next Level Games, and it's the same thing that we've seen throughout the entire Switch generation where it looks like garbage at first, but then in the last couple months it gets some beautiful lighting added in, and the textures are proper and everything, but no, that's not the case. The game still looks bad. Like, it's a step above running it on Citra at 60 FPS with higher whatever, you know, but it's not that much higher. This game costs the same amount of money as the Thousand Year Door remake. The remake that remade the game from the ground up and had a bunch of music remade and brand new music made for it and new variations of the music and new bloody sound effects and new content. That just disgusts me the most. Why is there nothing new here? A game from what, 2004 was it, whenever Thousand Door released? Most people haven't played, especially because, you know, GameCube games never got re-released on anything ever. So the fact that that thing that they could have very much gone away with having no new content in, got new content, and then this thing that did really well in the 3DS, which is a system that did really well, gets nothing, it boggles my mind. Yes, it'll be nice playing this game not in the 3DS, but for the love of Christ, this is just disgusting. It is disappointing. Why? I say why, I'm still buying it because I suck. I suck bad. On to something nicer, we got the new DENPA man. This existed on the 3DS, apparently. Apparently, the fans of it were really happy to see it again, so good for you guys. Also, this is like the 4th one? Yeah, this is a whole franchise, so good to see another one of them get brought back. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. I like the art style, you know, it's really beautiful pixel art. In fact, I'm pretty sure the explosion effect that I have downloaded on Gary's mod is actually from this game. Well, not this game specifically, but from the series. That's cool. That's a tower defense type of thing, it's saying. Doesn't really look like a tower defense. It's like, does Battle Cats count as tower defense? Because it kind of looks like that. Yeah, it looks alright. Not really my thing at all, but it's cool. You know, it's cool. Good on you. Darkest Dungeon 2. I've heard great things about Darkest Dungeon 1. I don't know where you'd go from there. Is the dungeon darker? Maybe. Nintendo Switch Online got a whopping 4 more games, and by Jove, were they doozies. Not really. We got The Legend of Zelda. Great, you know, it's the Link to the Past, but sort of worse in most ways. But we also got 4 swords. And that really does matter, because with 4 swords, you kind of needed to get 4 Game Boy Advances and like 2 link cables or 4 link cables. I don't know, man. The Game Boy Advance was just a bit before my time. It's sad that we haven't had a proper way to play this. Well, there was like an anniversary thing on the 3DS, but most people don't have that and can't get that now. Sad. Great that's on Switch, great you can play it with 4 people, you know, it's online only, which kind of stinks, but yeah, no, I'm fine enough with that, I'm fine enough with that. It's just good to have a proper way of playing it, you know? Metroid Zero Mission. I'm sad that this isn't getting a proper remake. Would have been pretty nifty, you know? I don't know what Mercury Steam is doing then, you know? I feel like, 3 years, we're bound to be seeing something from them soon enough. Maybe next Direct. If you haven't played this one already, please, for the love of God, do. It's great. If you loved Super Metroid, you'll love this quite a bit as well. It's short, but I'd say that adds to it, you know? Because like with Super, it's so long, but with this, because it's short, I don't know, you almost feel more like you want to speedrun it and break it. Plus like bomb jumping, dude, it's really easy in this game. It's great. Then we got another console app. I kind of thought that might happen, and I was right. Sure, it's still the N64, but it's the mature games. We got Turok, a game. I'm pretty sure this is already playable on the Switch, but you can buy it as its own thing. So yeah, well done, Nintendo. That's 50% of your new app completely worthless. But Perfect Dark, hey, you know, that's neat. That was like the pseudo sequel to GoldenEye, so it's good to have it here. Good to have it here. I'm just more excited for getting to play Conker's Bad Fur Day, except I'm not actually, because okay, that game, it sucks real bad. It's great until a point, and that point is when every single thing is a shooting level from now on. Then it's a lot less fun, and it's actually infuriating, and the stupid teddy bear boss, he sucks, I hate him. I didn't even finish that game, because that part just annoyed me so much, and I knew that the following part was like a Matrix bit, which is more shooting. Yeah, no thanks. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero, a franchise apparently. This game looks gross to me, and by looks, I actually mean sounds. I hate the main green-haired girl's voice. Ugh, gross. Get it away from me. Forcing ghosts to go into barrels, or whatever they mean by spirits or what have you, that's pretty funny. That's where the funny ends. Okay, fine, the gameplay also looks alright enough, you know, I'll give it points there. I won't be completely rude and shut it down immediately because of the art style and sound style and everything else. The gameplay looks okay, but yeah, no, very much not my thing. Marvel vs. Capcom, Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics. That is a long as hell name. Neat. Yeah, I know people like the soundtrack of that one game. Cool it's all here. Cool that they've had that little side bit added where you can test out moves and combos and all that. I like that. Yo, I like that. I like all the little bits and pieces they've added. That's very cool, very neat. I'm not one for fighting games at all, really. Smash is the only one that kind of counts, but even then it's just because it's got so much variety and it's single player. Yeah, you'll never catch me dead playing multiplayer Smash. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Now, this is my kind of online game. Yes, please, yum yum, good. It's exactly what I wanted. It's what I expected when I saw them make Mario Party Superstars. They did Super Mario Party where they tried to return to form, but they didn't quite do it right, you know? They just didn't quite hit that same level. So they went, okay, let's go remake some boards and some mini games from previous Mario Parties to learn how to do it right. And now that they've done that, they're making a new one with what they learnt. And that, my friends, is what I expected, it's what's happened, and I couldn't be happier. I was worried for a second with the board number, but thankfully, we've got 7 this time, 7 boards, and they've done something really unique here that I'm quite a big fan of. They have brought back 2 previous boards and remade them in the same way that Superstars brought back 5 boards and remade them. Now, unfortunately, these boards are from Mario Party 1 and 2, which is like, dude, why not 3? You know, you skimped out and given 3 at second one in the last game, why not again? Why are you doing this? But it's fine. Western Land, you know, that's cool. The Mario Cloud Castle one, okay, yeah, admittedly that one's kind of lame and stupid and sucks, but hey, we have 7 boards. Alright, that's cool. And the 5 brand new boards have some really interesting gimmicks. You have the water level raising one, and whatever the hell the golden Goombas mean. We have the big moving wiggler, which, yeah, is a bit simple. You know, it's what EGAD's Laboratory Garage, whatever it's called, in 6 did. You know, it's just a big rotating platform, but it's still pretty cool. We got the mall with the prices of the stars changing, which I like. You know, kind of reminds me of a Fair Square, again, from 6. I've played quite a bit of 6, admittedly. Sure, in the Direct, they just said 50% off, but I don't know, maybe that won't be the case. There's also the car one, which had like a bunch of spaces and you would like go really, really far. So I like that. I like how I've got a big giant board. That's neat. That's a neat mechanic. And we also got the Bowser one, but we didn't actually see that one for for a couple seconds. There's like a big Bowser in the middle, so that's cool. Don't know what it means. Still cool. There's all these other side modes that I don't care, Nintendo, okay? Bring back the Flower Garden side minigame thing from Mario Party 9 and just leave it there. That's all we need. That, or put the development time into making a proper good single-player campaign, because that's what Mario Party is missing now. Yeah, I know we haven't even gotten this next one that's supposed to be improvement, but I want more. I want better. Now, I have horrifying news about this game. Waluigi's in it. Why is that horrifying? Well, folks, Kevin has taken over for the voice of Mario, Luigi, Wario, and more than likely, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and Waluigi. So this might be our first time hearing Kevin's Waluigi voice. God. Uh-oh. I don't like Kevin's Mario that much. He can't do the words quite good yet. His Luigi's, yeah, he's great. You know what? I will say, you can do a fine Luigi. And as Wario, I mean, he's got the mannerisms down, but like, trip with these jumps doesn't feel like a prize. You know, like, that's the level of Wario voice we're working with here. If I can do it, that's sad. So yeah, we might hear Kevin's Waluigi. We might not, you know, unlike a brand new proper game, this is just a Mario Party. They can get away with reusing voice clips, so maybe we won't. Maybe it has to be tennis or something. But yeah, it's a new Mario Party. It's a good Mario Party. The stars are 20 coins. You know, they learned their lesson from Super. It's great. There's a bit of a scare about the game requiring 1 Joy-Con. That's only for like 2 or 3 minigames, I think. I know, I forget exactly what I was reading, but the point is you can use a Pro Controller. Thank God. Also, I've seen people get annoyed at the fact it's called Super Mario Party Jamboree. I don't see the problem here. See, the developers want to separate themselves from the original Mario Parties, not just because, you know, after 10, numbering them seems a bit ridiculous. You know, oh, look, it's Mario Party 23, you know, that's just stupid. So I get why they've had to do it, because it's also a reboot in a sense. Hudson Soft, I think, were the people who made Mario Parties 1 to 8 plus DS. Maybe they also made the Game Boy Advance one, I don't really know. Point is, then these guys took over, and they didn't call it a different Mario Party for 9 and 10 because I don't know actually, but now they know, okay, look, we're going back to the old Mario Party style, but let's not call ourselves Mario Party 11 or whatever just because, you know, it's disrespectful. We're not the Mario Party guys, we're the Super Mario Party guy. Just because a game has the same name as the previous bad, icky, gross thing doesn't mean it will also be bad, icky, gross. Anyway, so after that giant big announcement, for me, of a brand new Mario Party, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Should have been called The Legend of Link. Should have been called The Legend of Link. Jokes aside though, this is very, very huge. See, there are 3 franchises I hold very close to my heart. Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, and 2D Zelda. Now, you're gonna see what makes that funny, because Mario and Luigi got left in the dust for 9 years. Paper Mario turned into a disgusting zombie, gross, icky, gross zombie version of itself. And Zelda, well, we just didn't get any 2D ones since 2004. Okay, we did get the Link's Awakening remake in 2019, and we also got Link Between Worlds 2013, but neither of those were wholly new. Yes, even Link Between Worlds, as much as I love it to pieces, the fact it reuses the same map as A Link to the Past, it sort of stinks, alright? It sort of stinks. Would have preferred a new one. I get the appeal, but come on. But this is a new one. Not the conventional new one, but I'm more than willing to give it a try. The idea of having a billion different solutions to each puzzle is one that can go very, very wrong very fast, but can equally so go incredibly right. Restricting things down to 2 dimensions, sorta. The game's 3D, but the fact that we aren't dealing with the same level of 3D as Tears of the Kingdom means that the puzzles can be a bit more focused, a bit more proper. Yes, that means that the way to solve it will be a bit more limited than in 3D, but I can live with that because it still looks awesome. Even with the map taking so many notes from Link to the Past map, I mean, seriously, look, you got the Eastern Palace there, you know, you got your big body of water beneath that there, your castle in the center there, your mountainous cliffside up there. You know, the only main difference is that Death Mountain is no longer that cliffside, it's all the way on the other side, but still, yeah, it's a bit too similar for my tastes, but eh. My biggest worry for this game is the menu. See, Tears of the Kingdom had god-awful menus to go through. Like, if you wanted to fuse something to an arrow, that was having to scroll through so many different items, and it's like, I don't need to apply my Hylian wheat or whatever to an arrow. Stop showing me that, okay? Could you not have just like separated it? Have it so one row is like parts of things, and then the next row is your food, and then the next row is like the berries, like the fire berry, the water one. You know, why? Okay, but look, this isn't a discussion about Tears of the Kingdom. This is about this game. For the love of God, please separate these things, alright? I don't want my enemies to be on the very right of an incredibly long thing to scroll through. I want my enemies on the bottom row, and then above that is furniture, and then above that is whatever meat would be under. Would it be under creatures? I don't know. Man, I don't think so. The fact that we're finally getting a proper game where we play as Zelda is very awesome. By the way, please have more Shubi in this game. I mean, you can't just have a Zelda with a wand and not at all make any sort of reference to the CDI games. I mean, you can do that, but like, don't. Come on. You made a reference to him in Age of Calamity. You know he exists. Or, well, at least the translators know he exists. Yeah, the CDI didn't exactly go over to Japan, so they don't really know about it nearly as much, but there's bound to be one person. Okay, at the very least bring back Tingle. I've missed that. Yeah, I was gonna give him a compliment, but, Just Dance 2025. Every single streamer and everything else in between, they just love this part because they get to mute it and it sucks. I lied. Yeah, I don't care about Just Dance, okay? I don't want to just dance. I want to do other things. I thought I'd have a bit more to say. I really don't. I just don't care. Me and Lego games have had a very interesting relationship. I've played a number of Lego games. There was the Lego Movie game on the 360. Lego Dimensions, also on the 360. You know, there's a couple of DS ones I tried, like some Lego Batmans. On the 3DS, there was The Chase Begins. I forget the first part of the name there. Lego City Detective Copman. And the point is, I did have my fun with them, but there was one thing that always really, really ticked me off, and it's that they weren't all made of Lego. It was normal 3D environments with Lego things crudely slapped onto it, and I always hated that. I hated it. This game looks great. It's an actual Lego game. Everything is Lego. Wow, pretty. And the gameplay doesn't look half bad either. You want me to get into the Horizon series? I've got the first game downstairs I could play. I'm not going to. It looks boring. But this game doesn't look boring, so I might try it, you know? Depends on the price. If it's physical, I will get it for like £5 cheaper at some point. Stray, that amazing game from last year or the year before. I don't really care. The game isn't great, I will admit, gameplay wise. I mean, it's just a lot of like, oh, yo, you're hopping around, but it's automatic. Oh, you're doing all these cat things, but it's automatic. So that's sort of lame. But yeah, the game looks great for Switch, honestly. You know, like we saw the Funko Pop game. Maybe the Funko Pop game just skewed my perception a wee bit. But yeah, no, I feel like they did a pretty good job, honestly. You know, all things considered, doesn't look half bad. Does not look half bad. Bit late, but that's the price you have to pay for working hard to actually make the game work on Switch. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. This was in the Direct, I guess? Was I like marking things off of my little bingo sheet as well? I don't know what my head was just way off. I wasn't paying attention to this. Skimming through the trailer now, there's not really anything to pay attention to for me either, so yeah, that game was there. Now, you probably won't know this unless you've seen my game review thingamajig I did last year, reviewed all the games I played, but I like Ace Attorney quite a lot actually. After watching RT Games play through the first 3 games, I played through the rest of them. Now, the exceptions to that are the Professor Layton game, and I just haven't gotten around to it, and the Investigations games. And hey, here's Investigations, and its sequel, ported over. That's great, that's great news. It looks great, you can switch back to the old graphics, you know, they have all the little extra bits and pieces these collections like to do. Yeah, very awesome sauce. I'm pretty sure one of these games was also like Japan exclusive as well, so having a proper English translation, that's even niftier. I'll certainly be playing it, mind you, with all the other games stuck right next to it. I might not get around to it that fast, but at the same time, I know it's at the start of the big block. You know, we got this guy, we got the Legend of Zelda after it, then Mario Party after that, and then after that is Mario and Luigi, so yeah, no, actually, I have time. The 100 Line, Last Defense Academy. This is a Dangi-Rangi game, that's right, Danganronpa. Apparently the creator of that series actually hits that series and never wants to make another one. So it's funny that they keep on making games that like have that same style, very similar to everything else, or at least very similar from a outsider's perspective, everything else. I have nothing else to say about this game. Romancing SaGa 2, Revenge of the Seven. You mean from Fortnite? You mean the 7 from Fortnite? You got the Visitor, you got the Scientist, you got the Foundation, there's 4 other ones. Forgotten their names. But I mean, come on, you don't need to know their names, right? You know, you've got your original funny flavor, and you've got the rock. What more do you need? And finally, the final thing, the one last thing of the Switch generation. Because let's be honest here, the September Direct, which is probably maybe happening, is gonna be all about the next Nintendo system. Probably, maybe. It's Metroid Prime 4. We felt like it was going to be Metroid Prime 4, and by we, I mean everyone, and we were right. And golly gee, they did this correctly, okay? With the previous time we were shown this game, we weren't shown the game. We were shown a fancy-looking logo. A logo. Nothing else, nothing about the game, or the story, or even the title. Just the fact that it was Prime 4, that's all we knew. And then development restarted and we got nothing. So Nintendo opened this up with the ship flying in, with Samus popping out, hopping in, oh look, it's Samus. And then with the camera zooming into the back of her head and into gameplay. Oh my god. Holy crap, that wasn't a pre-rendered cutscene, that was gameplay. And then they start moving, and the gameplay still looks beautiful. And there's effects happening and explosions, and then you get to the part where you're shooting the guys, and you got the scanning, and then you're in the vents, and then you see the villain from the DS game? Dude. If, again, you watched my video about all the games played last year, you'll know that I really didn't like Metroid Prime. In fact, I think it was my least favorite game that year. But this trailer, I want to give Prime 4 a go, man. Perhaps the additional 20 years of experience the developers now have and the general gameplay things that people expect nowadays applied to the Prime formula would make it an enjoyable game. Maybe Prime 4 will just connect for me. I've seen some people going around and saying that this was actually footage from the Switch 2, and I am not too surprised by that because it does look really, really good. Like, yeah, the Prime remake looked good, but this looks a step even above that. So, I don't know, maybe it is Switch 2 footage. I know they said they wouldn't bring up the successor, but as I brilliantly said, more than likely, they're gonna have some sort of double release. And I think Prime 4 would be that double release. I mean, there's a reason why we don't have a clear window. Maybe that reason is because they don't have a clear time for finishing development, or maybe it's because they do, and it's when the Switch 2 releases. Anyway, yeah, actually showing us gameplay for Prime 4 and having that be the entire extent of this, like, little teaser, ingenious move, and by ingenious I mean, like, yeah, it's the right move. You could have been stupid and not done that, but no, they did the right thing. My first ever Nintendo Direct was the one back in 2017. Funnily enough, also June, with the E3 presentation. Yeah, remember those? It was the one with Mario Odyssey. It was my favorite. And for all 7 years it's been since that point, it's remained my favorite. Part of that was definitely because it was the first ever Direct I really watched, but part of that was just because it was so magical. Which again, was probably because it's the first one I ever watched, but still, seeing Mario Odyssey just show up like that, the bombastic music, the everything really, it was just so special to me. Sure, there was a lot of awesome announcements and following Directs, but that was the only one that really clicked with me. Sure, I was excited about Luigi's Mansion 3, but like the first time I saw it, gross. Sure, the Smash Brothers, you know, that was awesome. The way that they had it shown off first with a little teaser and then the big proper one in the E3, yeah, cool. But again, it just didn't quite compare to Mario Odyssey. Even things like the Super Mario RPG remake and the Thousand Year Door remake, yes, they both really excited me, especially the Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door one, because hey, that's Paper Mario, but the rest of the Direct just didn't do enough for me, so even though I was really happy to see those things, I just didn't have that love for those. And I feel like part of the reason why was also because with both of them, it just made me think of Mario and Luigi and how much I wanted to see that finally return. And it has. This was the Direct to return Mario and Luigi. It's brought it back. It's finally real. The years of believing that even though Alpha Dream was dead, there's still a chance were well worth it. The fake leaks, the excitement from seeing that they are renewing their legal patent of the words Mario and Luigi for game software. It was just a bunch of little victories, even the addition of Superstar SaGa on the NSO. It was just a bunch of small things, but it was enough to tide me over till now. And as if that wasn't enough, as if getting what I've wanted for so long wasn't enough, I got a brand new Mario Party and a new 2D Zelda on top of that. I can't speak for everyone here, but a new 2D Zelda, where you play as Zelda especially, is something people have universally wanted since like third game? Maybe the fourth? Prime 4. And Mario and Luigi, while I can't speak for everyone, I can say that with how big those three things are, and with all the other stuff sprinkled in like Ace Attorney and Mario Party and the remakes of 1 and 2 Dragon Quest, you know, all these things put together, I think this might be the best Nintendo Direct of this console generation, if not ever. At the very least, that's the case for me. This is my favorite Nintendo Direct of all time, and I don't think anything is going to beat that, potentially ever. Thank you very much for watching this video. That's about it now. I'm of course going to do the good old end rambly bit as I always do. Comment, I guess, you know, what do you think of the Direct? Do you feel annoyed I skipped over stuff? I'm sorry, I just didn't care. Leave a like if you want to return so you can see my review of the new game, you know, the new Mario and Luigi, to come back and be like, oh look, this is how he was reacting. Oh, how insane, how crazy, wacky sauce. And of course, if you've watched a couple of my videos at this point, please consider subscribing. Also, if you like Mario and Luigi, please do, because great news, folks. I'm going to try to review all 7 games. Yeah, I know I've literally spent over a year now, I think, on the Pikmin 1 review, but yeah, no, I'm going to try work as hard as I can to review as many of the Mario and Luigi's as I can up to the release of this brand new title, because I am really, really, really excited. Before that though, I do want to break down the trailer that we have. A little fun fact for you, apparently they use different footage in the Japanese trailer, so I have a lot of stuff to go through frame by frame, but if you've been here before, you know that I am one of the biggest Mario and Luigi fans, so I assure you, I will point out everything of note, every last little tiny little detail that could mean something. I've done it before in the Mario movie, you know I'll do it again here, except with added gusto, because like, whoa man, wowie, hoochie mama, you know, it's Mario and Luigi, it's the thing I've been waiting for. So yeah, if you don't want to miss that, subscribe, man. Go ahead and do it. Yeah, I'll also be finishing that Pikmin review before starting into the Mario and Luigi one, so hey, if you're a Pikmin fan, you know, show up. Sorry about the lack of Pikmin 4 DLC. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually happy about that because I replayed all of Pikmin 4 recently, and oh god, I like it less than hey Pikmin. I mean, no I don't. Pikmin fans, come here, I have normal opinions. I love, what's the commonly agreed upon good game? Like, is it 3? Even then I hear people, what? Pikmin fans are too split to actually, see, the joke doesn't work now. Thanks, pricks. Bye. Oh.